And Swami also shared about this little girl he heard 3 or 4 years old once talking to her mom. He overheard her saying, "Mommy, what is it that what do you think about, Mom?" So she's kind of being thoughtful, and her mom said, "Well, I think about you, honey. I think about your brother and your father, and I think about my work and our life." And the little girl said, "That's good, Mom. I just think about me." And so most of us have moved past the state that we just think about ourselves, but there are going to be some of those tendencies that are self-centered. And that's not always a bad thing. It kind of can be, but really it's trying to move us more towards God. And we are thinking of others, and we're not dwelling on those things that keep us bound to ourselves. And increasingly, we find this great joy that comes from being nobody. I came across this magnificent quote from Swami Kriyananda where he says, "I have found that the less I think of me, the more God thinks of me." And he says, it's really quite amazing. Life becomes a song of joy when you live in this way. The less I think of me, the more God thinks of me. Oh, and he says, and everything works out right. He said, everything works out right, and life becomes a song of joy. And so increasingly, there's less and less of us that is bound by this thing called the ego, and it's just like an old friend along for the ride.